the Mothership, we have, at this point, we have a page and a note GPL, and this is going to be referenced later on to when we're going to play around with views and CCK and do all kinds of great stuff. So we have the page GPL, and that's going to override the page GPL, the Mothership thing. So, and if you have a node dash foo, the foo would be your node content type. You need some of the rules in this subtheme. You need to add your node. You need to add the block before the node thing is gone. So, one line to this is all you're going to need to actually change your output form this. It's actually just to add base theme Mothership. That's all it's going to do. So to summarize up, you have the Mothership thing. You can add all kinds of the theme engine you want to add. You have your own theme. So your own theme would then be the place where you work with your stuff. You can, of course, you just cut out the same basic studio, foobar, whatever basic theme you want to work with. This is the way I usually work, because then I don't have to redefine the whole world. So the Mothership is kind of Star Wars 4, where we don't actually see the Emperor. We don't have to, we just know he's there. But we know Darth is there, and my thing is my hero. So this is where the awesome Drupal side is coming in. This module, it's not a module, sorry about that. It's a theme, because I'm a themer. I don't want to be down in the modules folder. I'm going to get all kinds of confused. I want to be in my theme folder. So, basic thing about CCK, well, CCK is awesome. But as you saw before, a ton of nested divs. In my world, it doesn't make any sense. It's pissing me off on a daily basis. So, what we're actually going to do is, this is actually just the content field, GPL. And if you haven't been down here to the CCK module, content module, this is actually the file which is going to want to show you everything that's going to control the output for your CCK stuff. And it's the thing that I've actually just done here is actually just removed a bunch of stuff. And as you can see, I still have the kind of the count for it. So if you want to add more stuff to it, you can just take this file, copy it down to your own theme, and then it will magically override what the Mothership does. So you can actually go say, Morten, your theme sucks. This is going to be better. Without doing anything about it. So this is actually the, just taking all this stuff again, and ending up with this instead. Views. I love views. Views is more or less like the building block, the reason I fell in love with Google. I did my little CMS thingy at once. I did my SQL stuff. I'm a badass motherfucker when I'm doing my SQL stuff. I'm doing selection like select, star, from, whatever. I don't care at all. It's just give me the credit. Come on. Just give it to me. And when I'm looking at the way that the space is HTML, it's like watching me doing my SQL stuff. It's not so good. And with views, I've been following the debate about views, and there's been a lot of bitching and moaning, which I can't really understand it. I didn't understand why they had all these classes defined in the basic view. If you really go into it and fiddle around with it, it makes a lot of sense if you have a bunch of CSS guys who just need to change stuff. You can point out each and every element. I, as a king, want to define everything myself. So of course I've used an item on a sheet. I talked with the all about it, like and I saw the issue queue. I saw one guy after another was bitching about all of that HTML, all of that CSS classes. Why they are bitchy. So instead of being bitch or moaning, dude, I thought, let's do something about it. And I went in and I tried to understand all this stuff that's going on. And this is kind of out of Earl's documentation. And this is pretty good.
I'm sure I have that slide for my presentation. I should have talked to you.
Yeah, well, I found this someday on Google trying to figure out what views actually did, and I kind of found it. And then I kind of put it down on my laptop, and I've been using that ever since. It's pretty nice. This can actually define more or less once the HTML is coming out. So we're going to take a quick look at the views view list, and the views view list is where do we have it? As you can see, that's the main listing of stuff. It's up to the right. Right? Yeah. No, so what I'm doing is I'm just printing the title. I'm taking an H3 tag to it instead of an H2 tag because I thought that H2 tag should be used other places. It's not a definition question that you can just take it and write it another way. Printing the type for it, I'm doing the for each thing, and we have this class in each list. At the LI tag, class print classes, ID. I have no clue where these classes came from. I was like, where do and I brought on my armor and I went boldly down to the views module and I went to reading code. Holy shit! They're doing some stuff I have no clue. I was lost. It took like 2 minutes. Like shit, I'm dumb. I'm dumber than dumb. I don't understand anything of this. So I asked Earl polite. I said, Earl, what am I gonna do? I want to change these classes and stuff. It's like, what do I want to do? They say, well, I kind of want to stop people moaning about this and maybe try to control them in another way. Instead of just removing the class, I have to do that. Just removing the class, remove all the classes from your view. As I said before, it's not every HTML bit in a Drupal that is wrong. It's just me who's being kind of snob and want to control myself. So the mighty Earl actually pointed me to the preprocessed views view list function. That actually needs to go into the preprocessed view unformatted thing. I have no clue about this, and I'm still not quite sure what I'm doing here. But with so many things in Drupal, I figured out that, as Dries says, I'm just drinking from the hose. It's like, hey, so many clever people. If I'm gonna totally screw up, somebody's probably, or hopefully, gonna save me. So this is actually just taken out of my template file. And as you can see, what I've done here is actually taken all the original code, just copy it and paste directly to views, and then uncommented. And why did I do that? Well, at some point, I'm pretty sure I want to have first and last IDs on my list, or I need these classes for something. So instead of saying, well, I know everything better, I should probably be, or at least just use my brain and figure out, use the same look that other people use. So I'm just adding this in as a comment, so when I know that in my view I need to add this stuff, I can just take this, copy this whole function down to my template file for my theme, and then add the classes. This is the opposite approach of the way that Google normally does it, and it actually works with Google. So, and no module developers was hurt in this process. I did it all on my own. Well, God caught my hand on the way. And it kind of ended up being, well, at least kind of safe. Let's see, well, you see you have all this stuff here. And then it's out like this instead. I think this is, it actually looks good. And the best thing is, if you take the kind of views admin things, views height thing, that only comes out if you want to have like the administration options directly in the theme. So if you don't want to have that, just going to untick that in your options for your views, and that card is not even going to be there. The only reason that I maybe kind of survived my hacking and slashing was kind of, damn, I have some users who actually going to use this site, so I'm probably going to pay nice with them. And again, with the whole thing about having a label inside of my title instead is that, well, if I want to address this field, I would just say use.title label. And kind of knows that I'm only going to have one type on this. And if it's going to go totally wrong, you will better take my view-theme list as the class instead and using the string and stuff. And the same thing about the span tag. You have to say, well, okay, maybe I have a link, maybe I have some kind of item and I actually change it to do stuff with it. And again, and it's only the class name that is defined from your view instead of adding all these kinds of elements that I don't want to use for anything. Forms. I have wondered so many days about this. Does anybody know why in the form output, in the comments says we need to add a div to this form, so it's going to be HTML compliant, yada yada. I've never seen that anywhere. A form is kind of a block object, so why do you have to add another block object into it? This is like some of the small things that can piss me off. And this is kind of the 45 minutes where I can bitch about this, and then besides that, I'm going to be very silent about it. Some of the small things that we can just not change into Mothership. Just remove it. So to take the important stuff in this is actually all my template things is kind of small, so around stuff. Have a template alternatives. If we have kind of some kind of output somewhere, I'm going to put it into that field. And the block editing, the CCK, forms, functions, table stuff, all kinds of stuff where I find HTML that I need to correct. I'm putting it down here. And I'm using it as on a native basis, so I can actually find the stuff later on. And the same thing about all these views. How many of you guys are actually doing overriding of views, basic stuff? Okay, so here's the thing. Everything from views is going to be put through these TPL files. And I'm actually just removing the stuff I don't want, or adding the stuff I don't want. So you can screw totally with all those views module just by adding these. And so this is actually just cleaning the stuff up. And the content dash field is actually what's everything from CCK comes through that. So if you just remove all your code from that, your site will never work again. So this is kind of the HTML stuff that I've been pissing me off. It's kind of fixed now until hopefully some of you guys going into it and say, well, that stuff is crap. We could do it in a better way. And I hope for that. My other issue with Google is those about, how many is it? 90, 120 CSS styles that your page is going to be added to. And for that, the styles yeah, I couldn't beat the Hasselhoff and bare ass Hasselhoff. I'm so sad about that.
So not good.
Yeah. No, so this is what to play. So this is my oh shit. This is just a basic front page built in the Drupal site. And that's just the stuff it needs to render. I don't know why all these style sheets are in there. Style sheets defined by people who are not hot-ass CSS lovers as I am. I want to control my stuff. I'm a control freak in that area. So we're installing this style script module. Going to update it, figure out how many modules, how many styles do I actually have in my stuff. 82. 82 just, well, it's had views and CCK installed. There's still 82 different kinds of style sheets that I need to override. No. Why on earth would I want to do that? So what it does is I can actually add and remove styles from the $style variable. So instead of you going in and removing some styles, you still just add the elements that you need. Let's say the system CSS or admin CSS could be another thing. So just going to add. It's just it. We're removing everything. Let's see what happens. Whoa. So actually, our beloved garden actually dies when you don't add a lot of styles, which I think is kind of a constraint. But so I'm going to add kind of the system, some other things. Now it works. We only have 3 styles in this one now. And it has different settings for each of your modules. No, oh, sorry about that. Each of your themes. So in this particular one, I want to add my admin menu CSS to my theme or my lightbox CSS. There's a lot of modules who have CSS files that it needs all kinds of Ajax stuff. Doesn't work if you're going to remove that and you're going to burn for that. So the idea is to actually give you the freedom to remove the style sheet you don't want, so your basic style can actually look like this one instead. Because I don't need any more else for that.
Morten,
Yeah.
for the panel, the default is select none. You just select the ones that you want.
Yeah, well, I inverted it. So there's a setting for it that's created to say only the stuff you want to remove, all the stuff you want to add. So you can go both ways.
Okay.
It's still a module on the development. I have paid good beers to get this stuff done. It's my beer thing. Yeah. I know it's I'm not a module developer. I don't want to go into all that. I want to keep my focus on my last on HTML and CSS and JavaScript and design and stuff. And I want to have like all the cool guys doing all the module stuff to do their stuff instead. So that's why I kind of tried to do it for me, and he was happy to. It cost me a bunch of oatmeal now, but I don't drink oatmeal now, so I have a half a case at back home, so it's a nice trade-off. But the basic idea is just to remove all style sheet files that you don't want to have in your theme. Of course, when you're going to do that, stuff is going to break, as you saw. And you've got to be responsible for what you're going to remove, and you're going to burn yourself a lot of time. But this is also, yet again, just a way of getting to show what I, as a theming guy, would want to have. And try to figure out ways of doing it instead of sitting on the chair saying, I'm angry all the day with developers, and it doesn't make any sense. That's instead, as theming guys, go out and figure out what you want. So you can say, so why don't you just, instead of doing kind of a basic theme here that doesn't do anything, why don't I just try to take on a module developer and kind of force him into my way of thinking? Well, first of it, there's a code that that if you want to do things in the theming layer, you have to remove stuff. So this is kind of a total change in that way. And there's no reason that until we figure out as themers what we want to do and how we want to have our HTML display, it would make sense first to figure it out ourselves before we're trying to kind of hassle the poor module developer about how we want to have it. So we don't end up with kind of a battle between these two kind of worlds. And you could argue that this should be a module instead of a theme. Well, I said before, I want to work in just the theming here. I don't want to work in having a module and have to want to drop my themes in and then get it to work instead. So the fact is that, as I see, the module developers should not use the time and effort getting the HTML and CSS and all this stuff done the right way. Well, they should just use their awesome brains getting the modules, the functions, the business logic, all that done. And we, as a theming group, or as a kind of the helpful themer that's going to go in and help this wonderful developer getting the HTML stuff right. And I must admit, I have no clue at all if having this sub-theming thing, if your site is going to slow down like, well, kind of 50%, I have no idea at all. I hope if it's that way, someone's going to tell me at some point. And the thing is, and this is as just as theming cloud, we are having two different ways of working. I've talked a lot with John Morten about just the guy who took over the Send theme, and he has that idea about, ooh, pretty HTML, CSS classes, I can work with them. And I want to have theme HTML. And that's two different ways of working. By doing it this way, we could kind of having our own way. Do it the way that you want to have it as a theme. And the thing is that, as I see it, is that we should, as themers, step up to the plate and help the module developing, help them about doing this stuff, getting it done right. Because I actually think that the developers are really. It is goddamn awesome. I'm a designing guy. I'm a CSS dude. I do HTML and some JavaScript stuff, and I can build huge ass websites without doing anything about that MySQL crap because I'm select, start, drop, whatever. I don't have to think about that. But I want to go in and help these module developers by saying, well, you shouldn't do div, class name. You should do div, class name, done. But still. Rich Hutter. So, any clever questions? Any dumb questions?
I'm going to be devil's advocate. Okay, I use a Zen theme,
Yeah.
the base theme for most of my sites, which is, div, class.
Yes.
But in my last client, in the last year and a half, they redesigned their site 3 times. There's a separate designer who just does Photoshop. Hands me the Photoshop PSC file and says, make it look like this. I didn't have to touch a template.
No.
Because all the infrastructure I needed was there. If I need to put rounded corners around here, there was already enough divs that I could do it without having to go to the changer. So how do you answer that?
No, well, answer that you're on the other side of you're on the green team and I'm on the blue team. And you should do on the green team.
I'm actually in between this.
Yeah, well, yeah, you should have the possibility to do whatever you want with the HTML. I just want to have that with the HTML badge say non-HTML at all. It is so clean that you can wipe your ass in it. And it's perfectly
Like
okay.
you build the site your client wants it.
Yeah. That's the thing is that I'm building sites the way that my clients. Well, the good thing is that I'm still a designer, so I'm pretty much doing the designs. But my thing is that my background was actually as an HTML nerd. That was way back where I came from. So I've been using all my time doing that, optimizing that stuff, figuring out ways of only adding a class or a piece of markup if I needed that. And when I came to the Drupal world, I was like, what the fuck do all this stuff does here? It's kind of clouding up my view of how I want to do stuff. So the idea is having, if you want in your particular case, say, well, I'm loving all these classes, I'm loving all this stuff. Well, we should still have that. We should still have that approach to it. It's the traditional Drupal way. I don't want to come in and say to everyone, so, I'm right, and all of you guys are wrong. I know that's pretty much what I just said, but we should have the opportunity to go both ways. So if you're like an HTML nerd, like me, or like HTML snob, you say, okay, Mothership, parent theme, Mothership, done. And then add the stuff I want.
You know, just to respond to that a little bit, it kind of depends on not just your different flavor and way of wanting to do things, but there's different reasons. If you look at how much extra text is added to a page using something like Zen, which Zen is good for doing some things. I mean, it's a good theme to sub-theme off of, but sometimes, I mean, if the text is twice as much, that's twice as large of a download for your client. Now take a site that gets millions of page views a day and look at your bandwidth. Okay, if you can shrink that in half, you can shrink up a lot of the bandwidth that your site's doing, you can save money. So depending on your client and your reason, there are really good reasons to cut some of that stuff out.
Well,
But for some more simple sites, it might be good to go with something like that, because that's not an issue for you.
Eventually you're going to get the classes won't be in there. So, you know, I usually, I take it as a, you know, a hit of luck. If someone hands me a design, installs them, just do style CSS, and I'm done with it. But every now and again,
That's exaggerating. That didn't happen to my class.
right? But most of the time, there's going to be stuff where, you know, I mean, you could use what you just showed, and instead of stripping stuff, you could add more stuff to it, and that will most likely help you, you know, try to get whatever you're trying to do. Actually, the best thing would be to take it all out and then just start putting in what you need, right? And then that way, it stays light and, you
Yes,
get
so
full
the thing is actually having kind of having this theme that we as theme guys can work with. Don't have to figure out what's going on in the whole module world. The thing is, of course, that every time it's coming out a new version of Views or CCK or Drupal, you have to go and check everything. But you can't get it all in one thing. And the thing is still having like both worlds that we need to take all the approach that we don't have to it. So I still have like 5 minutes left, but just to take my own site is gonna have these lights on. I'm gonna open up. I have my plan this week was actually to open a new blog. It's called sexdrupal@rockandroll.com. And yes, that is gonna be the URL. I registered that with the and and without the and. Having a nerdy theming, arrogant theming rock and roll blog running all this stuff. Instead of having on my Morten thing. But I'm going to add my slides to it. And the Mothership is on project/Mothership. I'm pretty dumb at CVS. I try to add stuff, so if you guys find errors in it, which of course there's none, I have actually no idea how to add tags and do stuff like that. I'm probably going to break everything, so if Drupal.org is actually down one day. Actually, what happened the day that I added the Mothership thing was Drupal.org went down. I was like, what the hell? What did I kind of touch some? Did trees came down from above and say, but Drupal.org is up again, and I'm adding stuff to it. And of course, the theme guide. I actually think that the theme guide, some place down there have this about the views thing. So, that was it. Thank you. Save money. I have to miss it. Use my theme and save money.